National Electrical Code Section 300.3b clearly states that different conductor materials, such as copper and aluminum, shall not be installed in the same raceway or enclosure. National Electrical Code Section 310.15b further reinforces this by prohibiting aluminum conductors larger than number 8 American wire gauge from being connected to copper conductors unless specifically approved for such connections. The primary reason for this prohibition is galvanic corrosion. When aluminum and copper come into contact in the presence of an electrolyte, such as moisture, a galvanic cell is created. This electrochemical reaction causes the aluminum to corrode at an accelerated rate, weakening the conductor and leading to potential failure. This corrosion can compromise the integrity of the electrical connection, increasing resistance and potentially causing overheating or even electrical fires. Another significant factor is the difference in thermal expansion between aluminum and copper. Aluminum and copper have different coefficients of thermal expansion, meaning they expand and contract at different rates with changes in temperature. When these dissimilar metals are used in the same raceway, the differing expansion rates can create stress on the conductors and their connections. This stress can lead to loosening of connections, increased resistance, and potential failure of the electrical system over time. Furthermore, the methods used for crimping and splicing copper and aluminum conductors are distinct. Copper conductors typically utilize compression or mechanical connectors designed specifically for copper, while aluminum conductors require connectors that are suitable for aluminum and often filled with an oxide-inhibiting compound. Mixing these connection methods can result in unreliable and unsafe connections. Aluminum oxide, which forms on the surface of aluminum when exposed to air, is an insulator. Oxide-inhibiting compounds are used to penetrate this oxide layer and ensure a good electrical connection. Using the wrong type of connector or failing to use an oxide inhibitor can lead to high-resistance connections and potential overheating. There are limited exceptions to this rule, such as conductors with different materials may be used in separate compartments of the same enclosure or raceway provided the compartments are effectively separated. This physical separation prevents galvanic corrosion by eliminating direct contact between the dissimilar metals. Additionally, approved fittings or connectors specifically designed for connecting copper and aluminum conductors may be used in certain applications. These connectors are engineered to minimize the risk of galvanic corrosion and ensure a reliable connection. These connectors typically use a bimetallic design that provides a transition between the two metals while minimizing the potential for corrosion. In summary, for a 200 amp service with a meter main run, it is imperative that all conductors used, including the 4/0 aluminum service entrance conductors and the number 6 green copper grounding conductor, be of the same material, either entirely copper or entirely aluminum. Installing aluminum and copper conductors in the same conduit is strictly prohibited by National Electrical Code requirements due to the risk of galvanic corrosion, differing thermal expansion rates, and incompatible connection methods. Adhering to these code requirements is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical installation. It is important to consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and local electrical codes for specific requirements and any applicable amendments. Always use appropriately rated and listed materials and follow manufacturer's instructions for installation. When working with aluminum conductors, it is especially important to use connectors and tools that are specifically designed for use with aluminum. These tools and connectors are designed to provide a secure and reliable connection that minimizes the risk of corrosion and overheating. Proper torquing of connections is also crucial. Use a calibrated torque wrench to ensure that connections are tightened to the manufacturer's specified torque value. Over-tightening can damage the conductor or connector, while under-tightening can lead to a loose connection and potential overheating. Regularly inspect electrical connections, especially those involving aluminum conductors, for signs of corrosion or overheating. Look for discoloration, pitting, or a powdery residue on the conductors or connectors. If any signs of corrosion or overheating are present, immediately de-energize the circuit and consult a qualified electrician to investigate and repair the problem. Grounding conductors play a crucial role in electrical safety by providing a path for fault current to return to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and energizing the circuit. The size of the grounding conductor must be appropriately sized based on the size of the service entrance conductors, as specified in the National Electrical Code. For example, Table 250.122 provides guidance on grounding conductor sizing. In the case of a 200 amp service with 4/0 aluminum conductors, the grounding conductor must be sized accordingly to ensure that it can safely carry the maximum potential fault current. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to consult a qualified electrician if you are not comfortable or familiar with electrical codes and practices. Improper wiring can lead to serious injury, property damage, or even death. Proper planning and adherence to the National Electrical Code is crucial for ensuring a safe and reliable electrical system. In addition to the National Electrical Code, local electrical codes and regulations may also apply. It is important to check with your local building department or electrical inspector to ensure that your electrical work complies with all applicable requirements. They can also provide guidance on specific requirements for your area, such as permitting and inspection procedures. When making connections between different types of conductors, such as aluminum and copper, it is essential to use connectors that are specifically listed and labeled for that purpose. These connectors are designed to provide a reliable and safe connection that minimizes the risk of galvanic corrosion and other problems. Never attempt to make a direct connection between aluminum and copper conductors without using an approved connector. Doing so can create a dangerous situation that could lead to electrical failure or fire. When working with electrical systems, always follow lockout-tagout procedures to ensure that the circuit is de-energized before beginning any work. This involves turning off the circuit breaker or fuse that supplies power to the circuit and placing a lock-in tag on the disconnect to prevent it from being accidentally turned back on. Verify that the circuit is de-energized using a voltage tester before touching any wires or components. It is also important to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and insulated gloves, to protect yourself from electrical hazards. Never work on electrical systems while standing in water or on a wet surface, as this can increase the risk of electric shock. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical work, always consult a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to safely and effectively complete the work. Attempting to do electrical work without proper training and experience can be dangerous and can lead to serious injury or property damage. Remember that electricity is a powerful force and it must be treated with respect. Always follow safe work practices and adhere to the National Electrical Code and other applicable codes and regulations. By doing so, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of your electrical system. In conclusion, mixing aluminum and copper conductors in the same conduit is a violation of the National Electrical Code and poses significant safety risks. Adhering to code requirements, using appropriate materials and methods, and following safe work practices are essential for ensuring a safe and reliable electrical installation. Always consult a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical work. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional electrical advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician before performing any electrical work. Incorrect wiring can lead to electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. Electrical codes and regulations can vary depending on your location. Always check with your local building department or electrical inspector to ensure that your electrical work complies with all applicable requirements. Staying informed and up to date on the latest electrical codes and best practices is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of your electrical system. The National Electrical Code is updated every 3 years, so it is important to make sure that you are using the most current edition. You can purchase a copy of the National Electrical Code from the National Fire Protection Association or from other sources. In addition to the National Electrical Code, there are many other resources available to help you learn about electrical safety and best practices. These resources include books, articles, websites, and training courses. Taking the time to educate yourself about electrical safety can help you to avoid accidents and injuries. Remember, electricity is a powerful force that must be treated with respect. Always follow safe work practices and adhere to the National Electrical Code and other applicable codes and regulations. By doing so, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of your electrical system and protect yourself and others from electrical hazards.